predict the future is to create it. That's a quote by Peter Drucker. Time is precious, time is money, and this is a time for Money Talk on Atlantic Television Network. Good day, viewers, and welcome to a fresh episode of ATM Business on Atlantic Television Network, right here in the city of Port Harcourt. This is a network's medium of bringing the happenings in the economic sector of the society to our discerning viewers. This program is aimed at bringing to the doorstep of viewers the business, financial, and economic activities from all strata of society. Its delivery is accentuated through the various stock exchanges across the world, news about government economic activities, private sector business activities, laced with expert opinions, stakeholders' analysis, and correspondence reports. Port Harcourt Refinery undergoes licensing. Dangote Refinery to commence supply in August. Presidency set up committee to tackle hunger. European stocks open lower on Monday. By the end of the show, you can be rest assured of being informed accurately of financial activities around the world. I am your host, Wendy Aguma. We'll take a short break and we'll return. We'll reel out the details. Stay tuned.
We just vote for government, but we not get good governance.
At all.
Roads so no day. Light outside. The infrastructure.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Mrs. Ayeni. I am calling from the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs.
Okay. I've been expecting your call.
Madam, remove this your phone from loudspeaker.
Now my phone be like that. Hello?
Are you there?
I'm hearing you.
Yes. We saw a copy of your invoice for computers, printers, and laptops.
Yes. Are you working on them now?
Ma, the prices you quoted are way too high now.
Madam, sorry, please don't cost.
We found the laptop you said is 1.8 million naira for 6
country. You suppose do things differently, make Nigeria for better.
Corruption not in my country. This message is brought to you by the Akinfade Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation,
and with broadcast support from Atlantic Television Network.
Welcome back. Now let's go into market reports, local and international business news for today. Port Harcourt Refinery Company is currently undergoing various licensing processes following the supply of crude to the plant after it was mechanically completed in December 2023. Senior officials at the Federal Ministry of Petroleum Resources and the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited disclosed this on Saturday. Similarly, the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Heineken Lapobiri, earlier insisted that the plant was at its final rehabilitation stage. In March this year, the Group Chief Executive Officer of NNPC, Melekari, said the Port Harcourt Refinery had received 450,000 barrels of crude oil and would begin operations in April. This, however, did not happen. Kerry had disclosed this at a press briefing after he appeared before the Senate ad hoc committee investigating the various turnaround maintenance projects of the country's refinery. Lepobiri cited the Dangote Petroleum Refinery as an example, stating that the plant did not start releasing refined products immediately after its inauguration by the former president, Muhammadu Buhari, in May 2023. Dangote Refinery first released diesel into the Nigerian market in March 2024, followed by aviation fuel, but has yet to release petrol, which is largely consumed nationwide. The minister, however, stated that though he normally received briefings from NNPC on the status of the plant, he had also always asked the company about when the refinery would eventually be completed. President and Chief Executive Officer of Dangote Industries Limited, Aliko Dangote, has disclosed that the Dangote Petroleum Refinery will be listed on the Nigerian exchange before the end of March 2025. This came as the refinery again delayed the date for the supply of premium motor spirit, popularly known as petrol, till August, another shift from July. Dangote disclosed that the refinery was set to roll out its petrol in August 2024, having resolved its crude oil supply issues through the help of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited and the federal government. He said this when he took senior journalists on the tour of the refinery and Dangote fertilizer plant in Ibeju, Lekki, Lagos on Sunday. He noted that the issue the refinery was having with international oil companies regarding the supply of crude was resolved last week. Dangote also revealed that the federal government owned only 7.2% stake in the Dangote refinery against the 20% that was publicized. Recently, the Vice President of Oil and Gas at Dangote Industries Limited, Devakuma Edwin, had last week accused international oil companies in the country of plotting to frustrate the survival of the new Dangote refinery. Chairman of Dangote Group and owner of Dangote Refinery, Aliko Dangote, has said that the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited no longer owns a 20% stake in Dangote Refinery. Dangote disclosed this during a press briefing at the refinery on Sunday. The African richest man noted the Nigerian oil company now owns only 7.2% of the refinery. Due to NNPC's failure, they now own 7.2% of the refinery due to NNPC's failure to pay the balance of their share, which was due last month in June. He stated that while NNPCL had promised to provide the funds, he has been unable to meet his obligation, thus reducing the stake in the $20 billion refinery to 7.2%. However, NNPCL has yet to speak on the disclosure made by Dangote as of the time of filing this report. In August 2021, the Group Chief Executive Officer of NNPCL, Mele Kyari, told lawmakers that the company had acquired 20% of Dangote Refinery. The development comes amid the crude oil supply chain challenge experienced by the Dangote Refinery in the past due to high prices. The 650,000 barrel per day refinery had accused international oil companies of frustrating its kickoff by selling crude oil at a higher price. It was reported recently by Bloomberg that the indigenous firm is expected to import crude from Brazil. Earlier, the company had imported fuel from the United States of America. Meanwhile, the refinery had insisted that it would commence the supply of fuel in Nigeria in mid-July 2024. Meanwhile, owner of Dangote Refinery, Aliko Dangote, has announced August 2024 as a new date to roll out fuel supply in the Nigerian market. Dangote disclosed this on Sunday while speaking to journalists. He noted that he has resolved his crude oil supply issues with the help of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, and the Nigerian federal government. He stressed that the crude oil supply challenge was resolved last week after the federal government intervened. The journalists were on a guide tour of the 650,000 barrel per day refinery, which is located at Lekki Free Trade Zone in Lagos. Outside fuel supply, he said that the refinery's fertilizer unit will resume production in 2 weeks. This will give farmers more access to fertilizer from their farm product, for their farm product. This showed a long walk to the commencement of the full-scale production at the Dangote Refinery, which was commissioned on May 22, 2023. Dangote had earlier stated that the facility will kick off the supply of fuel in Nigeria in mid-July 2024. Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has replied Aliko Dangote over a statement that NNPC's equity in the Dangote over $20 million refinery Over $20 million refinery is now 7.5% as against 20% being widely believed. The statement by the company's chief corporate communications officer, Femi Sunoye, said his decision to reduce its investment in the refinery was well thought out. Dangote had on Sunday, he said, NNPCL no longer owns a 20% stake in the Dangote refinery, petroleum refinery. Speaking during a press briefing at the refinery on Sunday, Dangote said NNPCL now owns 7.2% of the refinery over failure to pay the balance of their share, which was due in June. According to Aleko Dangote, NNPC's stake dropped to 7.2% over the company's failure to pay the balance of its share, which was due in June. The 20% interest in the $20 billion Dangote refinery is valued at $2.76 billion last December. Dangote commenced operations at this $20 billion facility in Lagos with 350,000 barrels a day. The refinery hopes to achieve its full capacity of 650,000 barrels per day by the end of the year. The refinery has begun the supply of diesel and aviation fuel to marketers in the country, while petroleum supply is expected to commence in August. The controversy comes as Nigerians have hoped the start of petroleum motor spirits or petrol refining at the facility will help Nigerians cut down on petrol importation, thereby reducing the local price of the product. However, Dangote had expressed frustration about getting Nigerian crude for his facility. A Bloomberg report said the Lagos-based refinery bought about 24 million barrels of crude from the United States. President of the African Development Bank, Akinwumi Adesina, has faulted Nigeria's government plan to allow massive imports of staple foods to crash prices. Adesina revealed this to African primates of the Anglican Church at a retreat in Abuja, Nigeria, at the weekend. ATN reports that Abubakar Kyari, the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, last week announced plans for a 150-day duty-free import window for food commodities including maize, wheat, rice, and other staple foods. However, Adesina said the decision by Nigerian government to allow massive food importation risks destroying the country's agriculture. According to him, instead of the import drive, the Nigerian government should focus on producing more food to stabilize food prices, which will create jobs, reduce foreign exchange spending, and stabilize the naira against the dollar. The development comes as Nigerians' headline and food inflation increased to 33.69% and 40.66% respectively. Presidency has inaugurated the Presidential Food Systems Coordinating Unit saddled with the responsibility of finding a solution to the food security crisis and the rising cost of food items in the country. The unit, which will be chaired by the Vice President Kashim Shettima, comprises some state governors, representatives of local governments, development partners, and other critical stakeholders. The group is to coordinate all agricultural activities in Nigeria. Inaugurating the unit at the behest of President Bola Tinubu at the Presidential Villa in Abuja on Friday, Shettima said Nigeria is facing a rare food security crisis that urgently requires the ideas and resources of stakeholders. Some of the state governors at the meeting applauded the initiative, which they described as apt in addressing the current situation in the country. The move comes in the wake of the soaring cost of food items in Nigeria, with the inflation rate now at 33.69%. Stakeholders have blamed the development of multi-issues, including insecurity, with the armed men holding sway in some parts of the country's food belts. Tinubu also pledged to engage our security architecture to protect their farms and farmers so that farmers can return to the farmlands without fear of attacks. Pharmaceutical Manufacturers Group of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria on Sunday bemoaned the paucity of foreign exchange in the country, saying it had negatively affected the local pharmaceutical industry. They attributed fluctuations in forex as a major reason for the exit of some pharmaceutical multinationals from Nigeria. ATN reports that the group raised concerns at a news conference in Lagos on the 4th upcoming 7th edition of the Nigerian Pharma Manufacturers Expo, due to hold on September 4th and September 5th. Some multinational pharmaceutical companies, including GlaxoSmithKline and Sanofi Nigeria Limited, exited the country within the past 1 year. GlaxoSmithKline discontinued operation in Nigeria in August 2023, ending its 51-year existence in the country, while French pharmaceutical manufacturing company Sanofi exited Nigeria in November. Chairman, Local Organizing Committee, NPME 2024, Mr. Patrick Aja, said that for the domestic pharmaceutical industry to progress, a stable exchange rate was essential. Aja, a pharmacist and the managing director of May & Baker, said that many companies were also on standby for the implementation and take-off of the recent announced executive order. Recall that on June 29th, President Bola Tinubu signed an executive order removing tariffs and value-added tax on pharma imports. Osun State government, in collaboration with its foreign partners, had flagged up reforestation program for one of its forest reserves, Agowo Forest Reserve, with a call on host communities to cooperate with officials to ensure success of the initiative. Speaking during a meeting held with the representatives of the host communities, the State Commissioner for Environment and Sanitation, Mayowa Adejorin, solicited for their support towards the successful data gathering to get basic information that will be filed into the project development document. Adejorin, in a statement by the Information Officer of the Ministry of Environment, Bumi Bajora, Adejorin, while declaring open data gathering and capturing meeting held with the heads of communities around Agowo forest reserves, listed the gains of reforestation, urging the residents to key into government's policies on the climate change by planting more trees. Represented by the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Mr. Richard Oyebami, the Commissioner for also advised residents to maintain a clean and safe environment free from toxic gases that could be harmful to the society. Giving more explanation about the project, the leader of the nature-based solution of the Hyderabad Nobeless Green Carbon Investment Project, Dr. Edu Efe, said the group was in the state for the commissioning of data gathering and capturing by getting the necessary baseline information that will be filed into the project development document for Agowo Forest Reserves. Nigerian Customs Service anti-bunkering unit reported that it seized 13,750 liters of premium petrol spirits in Ogun State within 3 days. Coordinator of the NCS anti-bunkering unit, Heseni Ajunu, who disclosed this while addressing journalists in Lagos on Friday, said that the consignments were intercepted in different parts of the state. He added that the duty-paid value of the seized petrol was 13.2 million naira. He stated that the successes recorded were a clear manifestation of the determination and resilience of the officers to achieve the goals set before them. According to Ajibinu, some of the seizures were brought to the FOU Zone A. The coordinator disclosed that 9 vehicles used as means of conveyance were also impounded. Ajibinu revealed that 2 suspects were arrested in the previous operations, while none were arrested in the last one. He vowed the suspects who fled from the scene will be tracked down through recovered vehicles. He disclosed that the Comptroller General of Customs, Wale Adeniyi, was putting together a legal team that would handle all cases. We are open for advert placements, bookings and commercials, and you can connect with us and watch us on Atlantic socials. Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network. Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic_TV Network 1. X, formerly Twitter, Atlantic_TV Network. Watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. Importation of manufactured goods into Nigeria surged astronomically by 131% year-on-year to $5.4 million. 5.4 trillion naira in the first quarter of 2024 from 2.4 trillion naira in the corresponding period of 2023. Stakeholders have attributed the development to the depreciation of the naira and competitive disadvantage of locally produced goods occasioned by the binding constraints confronting the manufacturing sector in the country. Data obtained from the National Bureau of Statistics Foreign Trade in Goods report for first quarter 2024 shows that the value of manufactured goods imported into the country has been a quarterly upward trend from the beginning of 2023. The rising trend continued every month in Q1 24, with imports at 1.60 trillion naira in January, 1.79 trillion naira in February, and 2.34 trillion naira in March 2024. According to MBS, the value of manufactured goods traded in first quarter 2024 stood at 6.1 trillion naira, with 5.7 trillion naira imports representing 95.5%, while the exports component amounted to 268.70 billion naira, or 4.5%. Manufactured goods mainly imported were machines for reception, conversion, and transmission of voice, images of data from China and the United States valued at 95.34 billion naira and 34 billion naira respectively. This was followed by heat exchange units imported from the United States valued at 91.29 billion naira. President of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, Francis Meshoye, attributed the development to the inability of the country's manufacturers to compete with their international counterparts due to factors bordering on high production costs. He stated, Nigerian manufacturers are saddled with high production costs, which ultimately push up the price of manufactured goods. Securities and Exchange Commission has approved the Nigerian Exchange Group's Invest, a digital platform designed to streamline public offerings and right issues in the capital markets. In a statement made available to newsmen, the NGX noted that the platform was live, promising an efficient, convenient, and seamless experience for managing primary market transactions. It stated that the platform was built on the success of the country's first digital public offerings in 2021, which attracted over 150,000 new retail investors, with 75% being female and 85% under the age of 40. It noted that the platform aimed to enhance transparency and accessibility in primary market transactions. According to NGX, the launch of Invest coincides with the Central Bank of Nigeria's banking recapitalization directive, which has led to numerous subscription offers and right announcements by Nigerian banks. The organization disclosed that Access Holdings, FCMB Group, and Fidelity Bank were utilizing the NGS investment APIs to distribute their offerings to retail investors, with more banks in the process of onboarding. Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Emomotimi Agama, commended the initiative, stating the e-offering platforms aligns perfectly with the objectives of future-proofing the Nigerian capital market by digitalizing and automating financial. The group chairman of NGS Group, Umaru Kwarenga, praised the regulator, noting the supportive regulatory environment has provided a solid foundation that enabled the swift delivery of the platform. This reflects our mutual commitment to market development and will undoubtedly contribute to boosting the participation of retail investors in the capital markets. Central Bank of Nigeria said it has sold $122.671 million to 46 authorized dealers in its determination to promote stability and reduce market volatility in the foreign exchange market. A statement signed by the bank's director in charge of financial markets, Dr. Omolara Duke, disclosed that $67 million was sold to 27 authorized dealers, while $2.5 million was bought from one authorized dealer on July 10, 2024. The range of the bid for the July 10, 2024 sales was 1,148 naira per dollar and 1,500 per dollar. while the value date for the payments going by the state settlement cycle of 2 days is July 12, 2024. Similarly, on July 11, 2024, the sum of $55.171 million was sold to 19 authorized dealers at 1,554 naira per dollar, and no forex was purchased. The value date for the payment of the spot sales is July 15, 2024. The statement therefore urged all authorized dealers to ensure that foreign exchange purchases from the CBN are used exclusively for trade-backed transactions, which should be reported within 72 hours. While reiterating that the CBN supplies foreign exchange to the foreign exchange market to improve liquidity through FX spot sales to authorized dealers using two-way quotes, it assured that the bank will continue to ensure stability in the FX market. Federal government is collaborating with the European Union to use technology to unlock great potentials to revive Nigeria's economy. Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, Uche Inaji, revealed these at the just concluded Nigerian EU Innovation Days seminar in Lagos. Inaji said the collaboration between European Union and the federal government will help to enhance research in technology innovation, advanced technology development, and unlock Nigerians' potentials to explore the world of technology. The minister, who was represented at the event by the Director General, National Space Research and Development Agency, Dr. Matthew Adepuju, said technology innovation remain the engine of economic growth of any nation. Stakeholders who attended the forum expressed confidence that the EU-African innovation agenda will be a game changer that would unlock Africans' vast potentials. The two-day event, jointly organized by the European Union and the federal government, brought together representatives of the Nigerian, African at large, and European research and innovation ecosystems to discuss the innovation opportunities for researchers in the e-health, agri-tech, and Industry 4.0 ecosystem. In opening remark, the Minister of Youth Development, Dr. Jamila Bio Ibrahim, said Nigeria had been on the cusp of technology revolution with a vision to harness the power of science, innovation, and technology to drive economic growth, create jobs, and improve the quality of life for all Nigerians. Presenting the AU-EU Innovation Agenda at the forum, EU co-chair of the AU-EU Innovation Agenda Working Group, Dr. Vincenzo Lorenzo, highlighted a long-standing partnership between the African Union and European Union in science, technology, and innovation. SCI emphasizing the importance of collaboration for tackling global challenges. According to him, the agenda focuses on 4 key areas, including fostering innovation for a more peaceful and secure Africa, encouraging innovation to drive economic growth and job creation, developing innovative solutions to combat climate change, and promoting sustainable energy use and harnessing innovation to improve social development and empower people. In her remarks, the EU ambassador to Nigeria and ECOWAS, Samuela Isopi, said the Nigerian EU Innovation, which was organized in Nigeria for the first time, celebrated the remarkable synergy between Nigeria and European research institutions, universities, and innovators. You are watching ATM Business on Atlantic Television Network. We will be back after this break.
We just vote for government, but we not get good governance.
At all.
Roads so no day, light inside, the infrastructure we can't turn to be forbidden fruit for the city.
Corruption, spoil everything. Hello?
Hello, madam. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Mrs. Ayeni. I am calling from the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs.
Okay. Okay, I've been expecting your call.
Madam, remove this your phone from loudspeaker.
No vex, now my phone be like that. Hello?
Are you there?
I hear, I'm hearing you.
Yes. We saw a copy of your invoice for computers, printers, and laptops.
Yes. Are you working on them now?
Ma, the prices you quoted are way too high now.
Madam, sorry, please don't cost.
We found the laptop you said is 1.8 million naira for 600,000 naira.
Hello?
Now my body network there.
I can't hear you. Network is bad.
Madam, we can hear you. Continue.
Hello, I can't hear you. We call you back.
That behavior not good now.
Madam, now this kind behavior they kill our country. You suppose do things differently, make Nigeria for better.
Corruption not in my country.
This message is brought to you by the Akinfade Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation,
and with broadcast support from Atlantic Television Network.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Welcome back to ATM Business and Atlantic Television Network. Now to the rest of our stories. United Nations Development Program launched the Harcourt Initiative in Nigeria with a $1 million seed investment to promote women's empowerment in the African Continental Free Trade Area. The initiative, which was launched in Lagos recently, aims to enhance women's participation in trade and economic activities, promoting gender equality and inclusive economic growth across the continent. The United Nations Assistant Secretary General and Director of the UNDP Regional Bureau for Africa, Ahuna Eziokuwa, disclosed in a statement that the initiative underscored the importance of collective efforts in securing a prosperous future for women in the unified African market. According to Eziokuwa, these vital components will be implemented in collaboration with the Women's Chamber of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, and UN Women. A 2022 report by UN Women, UNDP, and the AFCFTA Secretariat highlighted significant challenges faced by women small business owners, with 31.9% reporting violence of aggression, particularly in informal cross-border trade, of which 70% is carried out by women. The UNDP official stated that HARCT was dedicated to enhancing trade and investment with a particular focus on empowering women and youth-owned businesses. She noted that there would be catalytic funding from Women's Chamber of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture to advance a pipeline of investment-ready businesses. According to Eziokuwa, the UNDP is also seeking a partnership with the Nigerian Postal Services to repurpose selected post centers into one-stop shops for accesses to public services. In her remarks, the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Doris Nkiruka Uzoka Anite, said African accounts for just 2% of global trade, adding that the AFCTA aims to change this by promoting inter-African trade. European stocks started the week lower as global market assesses the impact at assassination attempt on former U.S. President Donald Trump at a rally over the weekend. The pan-European stocks 600 was down 0.45% in early deals, and as all sectors and major bourses fell into the red. Household goods led losses, slipping 1.05%, followed by banks, which lost 0.98%. Shares in Burberry plunged 11.07% on Monday after a disappointing first quarter performance led it to replace its CEO and axe its dividend. Meanwhile, Swatch Group fell 9.62% as profits fell amid a slowdown in China sales. European stocks followed a trend set in Asia Pacific overnight, where markets mostly fell as China's gross domestic product data missed expectation and as investors also assessed the impact of the assassination attempt on Trump. The former president was grazed by a bullet and treated at a local hospital. He was released late Saturday night. President Joe Biden addressed the nation from the White House on Sunday and condemned all political violence and called for unity. Meanwhile, Trump has said his speech at the Republican National Convention will now focus on national unity instead of targeting Joe Biden's policies. Saturday's shooting raises Trump's odds of winning back the White House, investors said on Sunday. China's National Bureau of Statistics on Monday said the country's second quarter GDP rose by 4.7% year-on-year, missing expectations of a 5.1% growth. June retail sales also missed estimates, rising 2% compared with a 3.3% growth forecast. The firm now pegs China's 2024 GDP growth at 4.8%, higher than the 4.4% it estimated in December 2023 for the year ahead. Industrial production year-on-year growth in June, however, beat expectations at 4.3% compared with Reuters' estimates of 5%. High-tech manufacturing saw an 8.8% increase in value added in June. Urban fixed asset investment for the first 6 months of the year rose by 3.9%, meeting expectations. Investments in manufacture and investment in infrastructure and manufacturing slowed on a year-to-date basis in June versus May, while real estate investment declined at the same 10.1% rate. Housing-related wealth in China rose by 2.2% in 2023, down sharply from the 13% average annual pace between 2016 and 2021, Oxford Economics said in the late May. It also called for efforts to consolidate and enhance the momentum for economic recovery and growth, so as to ensure the sustained and sound development of the economy. The urban unemployment rate in June was unchanged from the prior month at 5%, the Bureau said. The jobless rate for people ages 16 to 24 who are not in school typically comes out a few days after the overall figure. The latest data available showed that the youth unemployment rate remained high at 14.2% in May. In the first half of the year, average per capita disposable income for city residents was 27,251 yuan. That's $3,801, and a nominal growth of 4.6% from a year ago, the data showed. Rural disposable income grew at a faster rate, up 6.8% in normal terms, but at 11,272 yuan. It was less than half that of urban residents. Germany will phase out components made by China's Huawei and ZTE from its 5G wireless network over the next 5 years, a move that risks worsening its already strained relations with the world's second largest economy. Mobile network operators including Vodafone, Deutsche Telekom and Telefonica have agreed to remove the components from their 5G core networks, which are connected to the internet and operate a control centers by the end of 2026. By the end of 2029, these components must also be purged from access and transport networks, which include the physical parts of the 5G network, such as the transmission lines and towers. In the same statement, the German government underlined the importance of secure and resilient telecommunications infrastructure, given the dangers of sabotage and espionage. Hawaii told CNN in a statement that there is no specific evidence or scenario that its technology has cybersecurity risk. We will continue to cooperate with customers and partners in a constructive and open manner, promote improvements and progress of cybersecurity, and promote the construction of mobile networks and digitalization in Germany, the company added. Meanwhile, Germany blocks another big business deal with China. Germany's move seriously damages mutual trust between the two sides and will also affect future cooperation between China and Europe in related fields. It said in a statement this decision could further strain Germany's relationship with China, its biggest trading partner. China's BYD, which vies with Tesla for the title of the world's top maker of battery electricity vehicles, has agreed to build a $1 million car factory in Turkey. BYD's CEO Wang Shifun and Turkey's Industry and Technology Minister Mehmet Fethi Kasi signed the agreement in Istanbul, according to a statement from the Turkish ministry Monday. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan extended the signing ceremony. The announcement came just days after provisional additional duties on imports of Chinese-made EVs into the European Union came into effect. The tariffs ranging from 17.4% to 37.6% are aimed at stopping a flood of cheap Chinese cars built with the EU deemed unfair support from the government. Turkey is in a customs union with the EU. That means vehicles can be exported from the country to the trading bloc tariff-free. According to the agreement with Turkey, BYD will invest about $1 million in the factory, which will be able to produce 150,000 electric and hybrid vehicles annually, and set up a research and development center for sustainable mobility technologies at the plant. The factory is expected to start production at the end of 2026 and provide as many as 5,000 jobs in the country. The BYD Tangiv and the BYD Hang EV are displayed during an exhibition test drive as a Chinese electric vehicle producer announces its expansion to the consumer market next year in Mexico, in Tulcan, Mexico on November 29, 2026. This is where we wrap it up on the edition of the ATM Business on Atlantic Television Network in the city of Port Harcourt. I am Wendy Aguma. We are open for advert placements, bookings, and commercials. Stay connected on ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic_TV_Network1, X, formerly Twitter, Atlantic_TV Network. Watch us live on our website, Atlantic_Network TV.
I hope nobody carry belle.
Why you ask, oh?
Because this road where they see, so it no guarantee safe delivery. We just dey vote for government, but we not get good governance.
At all.
Road so e no dey, light outside, the infrastructure nko e come turn to be forbidden fruit for the city.
Corruption, spoil everything. Hello?
Hello, madam. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Mrs. Ayeni. I am calling from the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs.